Today on Earth Radio, the heatwave gripping Europe is setting records and putting events on hold. TotalEnergies was held accountable for climate risk, and the Trump administration's efforts to dismantle ocean observation were blocked. These are the biggest stories impacting our planet from last week. First, we're going to be taking a look at the heatwave currently facing Europe. According to the World Weather Attribution, this is the most severe heatwave to ever hit the region. Researchers behind their new attribution study said that the heat at this magnitude was virtually impossible in 1976 when previous high temperature records were set in the region. An attribution study specifically looks at the effect of human-caused climate change on extreme weather, like hurricanes or this heat wave. It is currently so hot in Europe that the Extreme Heat Summit in London, as a part of the city's climate action, was canceled this week for extreme heat. 45% of the nearly 900 cities in the region have either already broken wet bulb globe temperature records or are forecasted to this week. For the uninitiated, wet bulb globe temperature is a measure of stress on human bodies when dealing with heat, factoring in humidity. Basically meaning this is a measure of how dangerous this heat is for our health. Nearly half of the countries in this region will face new levels of dangerously high heat. In Europe, only 10% of households have an air conditioning system, which can be crucial to staying healthy and safe in a heat wave. If you are in Europe or any part of the world facing high heat at the moment, remember to drink plenty of water, eat hydrating fresh foods, and limit exercise outdoors, especially in the peak heat of the day. This heat wave is shattering temperature records in France. This past Wednesday was the hottest day ever recorded in the nation's history. In Nantes, the temperature was 42 degrees Celsius, or 107.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Currently, 72 of the 96 mainland departments are placed under red alert heatwave designation. While the temperatures being reached in France this summer are unprecedented, climate-related disasters are not new in the nation. This is actually just one of many heat waves forecasted for France this year. The United Nations is really behind on its sustainable development goals. These goals were set more than a decade ago, and new analysis by the Sustainable Development Solutions Network says that none of these goals are on track to be achieved by 2030. Some goals, like industry and innovation and infrastructure, are facing some challenges, but other goals pertaining to good health and well-being, life below water, and life on land are facing major challenges, meaning that they are the most behind of all the goals. While some wealthy countries, particularly in Europe, are still making significant progress towards these goals, lack of investment in developing nations is setting not only the world back, but making climate impact more pronounced in poorer countries. The Paris Court of Justice found that TotalEnergies, one of the largest historic emitters of greenhouse gas, is liable for not fulfilling climate vigilance obligations. Local French authorities and organizations brought the case to the court, arguing that the company continued to expand oil and gas production even though science shows that they are severely driving climate change. A law passed in 2017 requires large French companies to have a vigilance plan to protect the environment. This is actually the first time the law was directly applied to climate change. The company will have to include oil and gas emissions in their vigilance plan by the end of the year and must pay 20,000 euros to each claimant in the case. That's nearly 23,000 US dollars. This week, we are still following the story regarding the Trump administration's dismantling of a large ocean observation network that provides scientists with valuable data regarding the health of our waters. This past week, the Senate blocked the decommission of the Ocean Observatories Initiative after a letter campaign to the National Science Foundation, or NSF, and a bipartisan bill saying that no federal funds should be used to dismantle the initiative without a review. The NSF actually backed down. On the NSF website, it was announced that the Ocean Observatories Initiative would not be dismantled, and the instruments already removed from the water would be put back where they came from. If you want to learn more about the stories covered in today's episode, check out the articles published on earth.org and linked in the show notes. Earth Radio is produced, edited, scored, and written by Rebekah Hendricks. This week's stories are reported by Martina Eugenie. Earth.org is supported by listeners and readers like you. Visit our website to donate to our climate coverage, and have a great week.